and I'll tweak it a bit and make sure we're all, you know, super good looking in it. But anyway, okay, there we are. I'm just gonna, is the transcript? No, okay, good, perfect. Great. Okay, so Sandra, welcome. Thank you so much for giving some of your time. And Pamela, thank you so much for joining. So what Sandra's going to do, she's going to walk you through what a middle school evaluation looks like. And one thing to just keep in mind, and I know Sandra will probably say this too, Pam, is that every principal does it a little bit differently, but the bones are the same. So Sandra might say that she does something and your principal may not do that at all, but that's okay. What she shares with you is the bones of it. And if you guys could, Pam, if you're able to turn on your camera, and hi Tamaris, welcome so much. If you're able to turn on your camera, it's always so much nicer for our presenters if they can see your beautiful faces while they're talking so that they're not just all by themselves.
Well, Amber, I'm so glad that someone else has joined because I was a keener and did a PowerPoint.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. That's why we invited you.
So I don't know, you might have to make me a co-presenter or facilitator so that I can share my screen.
I think that you can you not? Because I think I have everyone set up as a presenter.
Oh, there we go, share, yeah, there, okay,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to, all right, so this is my session.
You muted yourself, Sandra.
I had the best joke.
Just retell it. Just retell it.
So anyway, I'm just joking because I did not have a joke, but Amber asked me to present on the teacher evaluation process specifically for middle level teachers. Just give you some background information on me. I am a middle school principal, or sorry, a K-8 principal, but I have spent the lion's share of my career working at middle level. I was a vice principal at middle school, 2 middle schools, and principal at both a K-12 and a K-8. And I was heavily involved with actually developing this particular teacher evaluation process. Must have been 6 or 7 years ago now. It was part of a project that our director of curriculum was doing at the time, Liz Nallen. And now I'm part of a pilot group who's revisiting the evaluation process. So you definitely have someone who is invested in teacher evaluation with you today. If you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to ask. Stop me, we'll make it super casual and informal. Can everybody still see my PowerPoint? Okay, I'm working on 2 screens. I've never done that before. And now it won't progress. So the next part is the joke. There we go. So just a little funny to let you know that evaluation processes for us as administrators, we don't love it either. It's not something that we're like, oh yeah, I got to go in and do evaluation, because it's never something I feel that we can carve out the amount of time that it really deserves and it should have. And so really, when we're in and out of your classroom, every time an administrator is in and out of your classroom, you should take that as an opportunity that you are being evaluated. Even if it's a quick walkthrough, they're always, the administrators are always taking look and paying attention to what you're doing in the classroom. So the background information about the form that we use now is based on the Effective Schools framework. It has 3 major domains: the systemic school planning, leadership and teaming, learning environments, classroom practice, and each of those domains has like a subsection of different indicators. I believe there's 63 odd indicators that you'll be evaluated on. D and C contract teachers have 1 evaluation form. There is an evaluation process for long-term supply teachers, or LTSs. That is just an abridged version of this form, and it needs to be done within 20 days of your assignment starting. So we aren't expecting to see every single indicator present in those 20 days. So the document is the same document, it's just less indicators. We do use a 4-point scale similar to the report card rubric, where 1 is working below expectations and 4 is exceeding expectations. And inside that document on the previous slide, you'll see that there's certain indicators that have an asterisk on them. And those asterisks mean it's the minimum level that you're expected to be at in order to be recommended for a B contract. So you'll see excelling, meeting, approaching, and working below. Some of those, I'll be honest, when we first did this evaluation, we set up the evaluation, I found it overwhelming as an administrator, thinking back to my own experiences in the classroom. And there's a lot for us to manage in the classroom, a lot for you to take care of. And to be considering yourself excelling in expectations at that 4, that's really your master teachers who have it all together. Like really, like they can teach with their eyes shut. They have lesson plans and differentiating and standing on their desks and doing all those great things. A 4 is really hard to achieve. So I don't want you to think that if you don't have a 4, it means you're not doing a good job. If you are 3s or even 2s in some of those areas, you're rocking it. And don't be too hard on yourselves in regards to that 4. So just like students, we use a triangulation of evidence. So it's not just a moment in time. It is not just one thing. So the big piece is that you need to be looking at, an administrator is going to look at conversations that they're having with you, conversations that they might be having with parents. They're not going to call a parent and say, how is Mr. So-and-so doing, or how is Miss So-and-so doing? But they might have a conversation with a parent in a kiss and drop or the safe drop off that says, hey, I love Mrs. So-and-so. She's so great. Her communication home is great. Your administrator is going to take that as a source of evidence. They're also going to take conversations that they might have with students, with their other administrators, your vice principals. They're going to take it from district leads. I know we have a couple leads on this call that are coming in and out and doing coaching and might have conversations, keeping in mind that the district leads are never in an evaluative position, but they do provide some feedback that might be beneficial for an evaluation. And the biggest source of information for an administrator to do is you. So that's those conversations. And the big piece that I would really invite you to do is own your own evaluation process. It shouldn't be it's an ongoing process and not one moment in time. So when I meet with our new teachers at the beginning of the year, usually what I do is give them a blank evaluation. And my blank evaluation, I ask them to self-evaluate. Where do you see yourself now in regards to the indicators and the domains? And where would you like to see yourself going? So setting your own growth plan. And then as you're going through your school year, always think about, how am I demonstrating this particular indicator? Is this evidence of myself excelling in this domain? And hold on to that. Build yourself a little portfolio of evidence, because there are some things in the evaluation process, like engages in professional learning or does professional reading, that in a walkthrough or a classroom evaluation, your administrator can't see evidence of that. But if you keep note of, take a picture of a book you read, keep a copy of a particular article that you enjoyed and how you shared it or how you used that, and keep that as an ongoing collection of artifacts, so that when you do have a sit down with your administrator, you can say, here's me. This is the story of me and the story of me in my classroom this year. I also invite you to talk to your administrator. If you have a really good lesson that you have coming up, or something you're particularly proud of, or your students are about to demonstrate or have a showcase, leave a little sticky note on your administrator's desk to say, hey, come by my classroom period such and such today. I'd really like to show off, because you want to toot your own horn. You want to show off those really great things that you're doing in your classroom. And I also invite you to seek out feedback from your colleagues and from ESTs. So that professional learning community that you're part of, whether it's your colleague from across the hall who teaches the same subject, or it's a grade level, or it's a school level PLC, or it's part of the district, or your administrators, we're all here for each other's professional growth. So you can tap on those folks and say, hey, I'm really looking at this particular indicator. I'm really looking at working on my long-term planning and evidence of long-term planning, or evidence of using formative assessment in my classroom. Would you come in and give me some feedback on my use of formative assessment in the classroom? Because those themselves, even just asking and seeking out feedback, is one of the indicators as well. So as you're growing through the school year, and as you're working with colleagues, document all of that. Really take a moment and think of your school year as a D contract or a C contract or a long-term supply. start thinking about scrapbooking and scrapbooking your experiences so that helps to drive your own evaluation. You are really in charge. As principals and vice principals, we want to be in your classroom as much as we can, and we know that doesn't always happen. We always get sidelined or distracted by being in the classroom and being that instructional coach that we want to be. So it's really important that you make sure that the person that's telling your story is you. And that's all I've got. So I will say that the platform that we use to do evaluations is on Clever in Anglophone East. I don't know if they're doing that across the district. Amber, are they using the Clever form for that?
Some are and some aren't. It's still an integration process. But I love your advice. You're the first one to say, like, toot your own horn and like make sure they know the story of you. Like, you're the first one to say that. So thanks for that. That's really great advice that resonates, I think, with people.
Especially since there are 60 odd indicators. And for a teacher, let's say an administrator goes into your classroom once, twice, 3 times to do your evaluation, there's no way they're going to see all of those indicators. And so much of that indicators are about your professional collaboration with colleagues, your communication with home. So if you have a newsletter you send home once a week, once a month, keep those as evidence. Email communication you're having with parents, anything that helps with those indicators. So I guess my big advice is make sure you get your hand on a copy of the evaluation. So I think it was in the invite here. Make sure you have a copy of that so you can start thinking about the things that I should be collecting so I can toot my own horn. I can show off when the time comes.
And I'll put those in the email, guys. When I send out the recording, it'll be in the email. All those indicators will be in the email. Do you guys use the same? I have the elementary forms. Are they the same forms? Yeah.
It's the same.
So I'll send them all out. Yeah. So does anyone on the call have any questions? Thanks for joining us, those of you who made it. Yay! I know it's always a struggle for you to make it, so we're so grateful that you're here. But Sandra is yours for another 15 minutes. So if you've got questions, you want to pick her brain, it's a beautiful brain to pick at. Quiet, quiet, quiet.
Crickets.
It's all good. And if you're set and you don't have any questions, that's fine. I never want to keep people longer than we need to keep them. So I will record. This has been recorded. I will put it up on our PL site. I will send it out. Thank you, Sandra, so much. This is fantastic. You get extra points because you built a bougie PowerPoint. So whoop, whoop. And I will forward it on to everybody who missed it, and then it will live on our page for anyone who wants to go back and revisit it.
One piece that is different from I think you might be using an old form is the new form on Clever has places to upload evidence and like artifacts, and each line is, on November 15th I attended a professional learning on, and you can start building up that portfolio or those artifacts that are going to support your evaluation. So that's
this PL on that evaluation form. Yeah.
And I think once your file has been activated by your administrator, so if your administrator hasn't created a profile for you in the evaluation process, ask them to do that so you can start uploading some evidence as well. Even if they don't do it, doesn't mean you don't come to your evaluation with a folder that says, here's what I would like to contribute to my evaluation today.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the next one for the East. I have to go in and peek and see what it is, but it's already in your inbox. So thank you for joining us. You can reach out to any of us at any time to be able to support you, and Craig as well, your lead, who wasn't able to make it tonight. And have a wonderful Thursday night. It's Friday Eve, is it not? Friday Eve. So enjoy your Friday Eve.
No, Amber, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Oh my goodness, it's Wednesday.
It's only Wednesday. Okay. My Christmas tree that I ordered, which by the way is pink, arrived tonight. So I'm just excited to get home and decorate my ridiculous pink Christmas tree.
Love it.
Bye, everyone. Have a great night.
Take care.